Yes, what is up, YouTube family and folks? This is Kevin's Perspective Podcast. We're gonna do things a little bit differently now, man. Feel a little bit, like I've changed a little bit. I got some stuff to really talk about. If you've been following my channel for a while, you've probably seen, different videos and shorter videos, but I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I want to just talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I want to just talk to y'all. And more importantly, you're gonna just watch me talk to myself. You're just gonna watch me talk to myself. So they're like, yo, okay, where you been at, man? Like,
I've been around the world. I've been around. I've been around the world. I've been around.
I ain't been nowhere, man. Be honest with you. I ain't been nowhere, man. I've been here. I just been tired. I just been tired, man. Like, trying to get my energy straight, trying to get life straight, trying to get things in order to where I can really just talk freely. And I do need to travel though. Like I really ain't been nowhere, but I do need to travel. I need to get out and get different places for real. But let's get into it, man. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. A lot on a daily basis. And my algorithm just looks crazy. If you see my algorithm, you be like, yo, what do you really like? Because you like everything. You're into everything. So what I'm doing on this channel now, man, is like I just want to talk more in a podcast format. Like editing, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Editing is exhausting for me. I ain't gonna lie. Like I mean, I like to edit the videos and stuff, but it got to a point where the editing process was just time consuming and it was just like it was just too much, you know what I mean? After a certain point it was just too much, but with everything else I was doing and had going on, I would rather just talk freely in this form right here so y'all can hear me and hear my perspective well, um and hopefully not piss people off too much because I got a lot to say. So they talk about the algorithm, you got to have a niche. And I'm like, forget a niche. I don't care about a niche no more. The world is my niche. How about that? The world is my niche. I was getting to a point where, I had to try to zone in certain content, getting into the man of spirit content, getting into red pill, like all this. Forget it. I just want to talk about what I like to talk about for real. Like, and that's everything. Everything. I like to talk about everything, man. But first, let me get shout out to Vocal Visions. Vocal Visions is the team expressing what it seemed to accomplish a dream. That is the team. Me, Deuce 47, KJ. We got a lot of stuff going on, man. We got some stuff coming up. We got a charity event, Feed the Homeless event coming up at the end of next month or the beginning of April. We're not sure just yet, but I will keep you posted. It's going to be in Columbia, South Carolina at the Transition Center. I'm gonna keep you posted on that. We are publishing and moving and doing certain things behind the scene. I ain't been doing nothing. Like I haven't been on YouTube the way I want to, but I ain't just sitting around doing nothing. We got moves to make, man. It's stuff to do out here. It is stuff to do out here. It's money to make out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's work to do. But with all that being said, let's get down to the nitty gritty. You see the title. First of all, I played You've Been Around the World. If you heard it, you heard it. If you didn't, you didn't. I played it for a quick second. Hopefully it went through. I don't know. We trying out some stuff here. This is gonna be completely new for me. It's the first podcast, first episode. Work with me here. Okay? Relax. Work with me. I'm not a professional. But that had to do with Diddy, right? It's a Diddy song. JD, Jermaine Dupri, recently came out and said that him and P. Diddy is doing the verses. Now, I'm going to say this. Me growing up in music, man, like, I'm a fan of a lot of producers and a lot of artists. So when it comes to Puff Daddy and Jermaine Dupri, I'm going to be completely honest. Jermaine Dupri is going to get smoked. I'm sorry. I know what he has. I know what he has. I know y'all hear me right now. I know y'all probably reacting right now. I know what he got. I know he got Mariah Records. I know he got Usher. I know he got Bow Wow. I know what he got. I know his whole discography. Trust me. But I also know Puffs. And I also know that if it's a performance in the verses, if they still have it, I know what's going to resonate. Don't get me wrong. Mariah has big records, but Mariah is not going to resonate in that audience. She just isn't. Not like Mary, not like a lot of other. Faith Evans probably had better records that would resonate over Mariah's in that crowd. You got to take the crowd into consideration. If you've seen the verses, you got to take the crowd into consideration. You have to take the atmosphere into consideration. Those are big records, but don't get it twisted. I do not ever hear anyone say put that Mariah record on. I've never hear anyone say put on Mariah Carey song unless it's Christmas. If JD produced All I Want Is Christmas, he might need to play that. But aside from that, nobody's throwing on Emotions or Dream Lover. Nobody's just throwing that on. Not no more. Nope. Still throwing on Mary. Still throwing on 112. Still throwing on Carl Thomas. It's a lot of R&B that Puff got. That Jermaine Dupri's songs just ain't gonna resonate. Sorry, Atlanta. You're not gonna win that one. You're not. But all for that. Whenever that happens, hopefully it happens soon because I'm really excited to see that. To be honest, just to see how that performs, how that plays out. But for some reason, I feel like it's gonna be another Locks versus Dipset, and Puff is gonna play the Locks, like literally play the Locks. But off of that, let's get on to dating apps, man. Let's get down to it, really. Let's get down to it. Dating apps. Let's talk about dating apps. So, I've had experiences with dating apps, man. I've had some experiences with dating apps. And what I can say is I'm going to speak from a man's perspective. Everything I say could be generalized. You can say, yeah, it goes both ways, whatever. I don't care. This is what I have to say as far as a man's perspective, more specifically a black man, but I'm not going to try to get racy here. But dating apps are trash. That is pretty much the basis of it. They are trash. But here's why I say that, because people get on dating apps, right? And the purpose of the dating apps when they first made it, the same way they did with dating websites, eHarmony, all that stuff, is two people connecting, conversating, getting to know each other mutually, and progressing into a relationship, into dating, into a relationship, into courtship, whatever. Getting into from the talking phase to actually meeting, to going on dates, to getting in a relationship, so on and so forth. That's what the purpose of a dating app is, for two people to build a connection. What is the purpose of a dating app now? Boredom. People are on there because they are completely bored. Not because they want a connection, not because they have the intentions of anything going forward to a certain degree, depending on what they get up there for. But here's the thing, right? It's not really about two people connecting. It's about one person doing just enough to make it feel like it's a connection while the other person is chasing. That's what it seems like. And I'm gonna give a news flash to everyone on the dating app. Dating apps are not for you to chase anyone or to be chased. It's not. Women, you are not on there to be chased. Men either. When you get on a dating app, you're supposed to put in equal, in order for it to actually work. Let's talk about what's supposed to happen for it to actually work. If you get on a dating app, how it's supposed to work, and for it to work, is for two people to equally give the same effort to get to know each other. You're putting in the same effort, you're putting in the same time, You're putting in the same energy to get to know each other. It is not a thing where I'm going to hit you up and then you hit me back whenever you feel like it, or that person hits you up and then you ghost them, or that person, it's just too much of no communication whatsoever, or even trying to. And what you start to see is a lot of people dropping off after about 2-3 weeks. It might talk for about 2-3 weeks, maybe a month. And then people started to drop off because they started to realize how bored they were when they first got on there. And they really didn't have they didn't really have the intention of putting in the effort and work to make a relationship work. It was just impulsive. You was impulsive because you were alone, you were bored, you wanted company, you wanted somebody to talk to, and so you made a profile barely. We're gonna talk about that. People up there barely making profiles and want somebody to give them the most, the most attention in the world, or do the most for them, and they barely even fill their profile out. Like, if you do the bare minimum on the profile, then you can't expect not to get the bare minimum on anything else. I mean, all you gotta do is just fill out a bio. It's not hard. um, so people get up there and they make a profile. They swipe. They look. I'm just up there to look. This, that, and the third, and then they finally connect with somebody maybe, and then the conversations are just blah. Blah. That's all I can say. It's crazy. Um, and then I see people put bios, women put bios, that's like cursing other guys out because of their experiences. Like, don't like everything is an exclamation point. I'm like, yo, this ain't that serious. Like, just what are you up here for? What are you up here for? To be honest, for what? I don't get it. What are you up here for? There's people who get up there for a true connection is very far and in between, far few and in between. Everyone else is just bored. It's a board game. When I say board game, the people are board gaming. That's a new word for me. That's a new term for me. You heard it first here. People are board gaming. Bored as in BORED. I almost forgot how to spell it just now. But they're board gaming. You get up there, you spit game, you flirt, you talk, but you're only doing it because you're bored. And then the other person may receive it as you not being bored and want to move forward, and you really don't want to. You might have had the intention at first, but it was just an impulsive intention. You can have impulsive intentions. Like, I intended to do good, so I jumped out there, but you really didn't have the intention of consistency. That is the dating world 101. No consistency whatsoever on both sides. Women try to act like men are inconsistent. Women are very inconsistent. Very. So that you wonder why the relationships in the dating world is trash. That's part of it. A lot of it really is that people are just selfish. People get into this dating world, they just selfish, man. And I saw something on 8 at the table today. They were talking about selflessness. And one of the young ladies on there was saying, well, what is the line when you should be selfish? Like, at what point is your selflessness too much? And when should you be selfish? And my thing is, if you have balanced selflessness, then you won't need to be selfish. If your relationship is balanced in selflessness, then you won't have to be selfish, because you'll be giving each other what each other need. Whether that's space, time, resources, whatever that is, that other person is giving you what you need. So you don't have to have the thought of being selfish. You don't. It is reciprocity at that point. If you have healthy reciprocity, you won't think about being selfish. You're only going to think about being selfless because you're getting your refill every time. You're not going to feel like you're empty. You can pour into somebody and that other person pours back into you. Once that's healthy reciprocation. Now, if you go into the relationship already selfish, already thinking about getting what you can get out of it, getting what's yours, already having the mindset of being selfish, then yeah, you're going to have trouble reciprocating because you already have the mentality that you don't want to. You don't want to reciprocate. So yes, selfishness will come in. And that's what a lot of people that's dating do. They go in selfish. They go in thinking that they can win the championship on defense. Only in football or sports does defense win championships. Not in relationships. You got to play offense. You got to put yourself out there. You got to be selfless. And if you don't, hey, it is what it is. You ain't going to have no great relationship. It might seem good at first. It ain't going to last because it ain't part of your character. It's not a part of your values. If it ain't part of your values, it's not going to last. Whatever isn't a part of your character and your values will not be consistent. People go into dating with just this thought of they don't even think. Actually, they don't even think about what they're willing to lose. That's another part. You go into dating not even thinking about what you're willing to lose. It's not even a thought. What are you willing to sacrifice to be in this relationship or to be in a relationship? What are you willing to sacrifice? If you're not thinking about sacrifice, then you ain't ready for relationships. You go into a relationship wanting to hoard everything and keep everything while getting everything at the same time. You're a hoarder. You carrying everything from your past. You carrying everything that you have now. You don't want to give up nothing to make the relationship work. You don't want to create space for a relationship to grow. You just want someone else to pile on top of you. You want someone to pile on benefits, but don't want to get rid of anything to be a benefit. Do you even think about being a benefit to someone else? I think that everyone feels as though they're package deals. You've seen it. You've seen it. You've seen it. I'm a package deal. Everyone feels like they're package deals. I mean, technically, I guess you could say everyone is a package deal, but you're trying to make it seem as though your package deal is a benefit. Like it's not baggage. It's not luggage. Everyone feels as though they're bringing something to the table that's a benefit to the relationship without thinking about what they can actually take off of the table to actually make space for the relationship. It's not about what you bring to the table. Forget all that. It's no more bringing to the table. I don't want to hear nothing about what somebody brings to the table. What do you take from the table is the question. What do you take off of the table? Soon as both of y'all sit at the table, both of y'all bringing y'all luggage, you bringing everything you got. What can you take off the table that's a benefit to the relationship? What can you take off the table that the other person don't have to worry about no more? because it's not there. They don't have to worry about it. They don't have to worry about selfishness. That's off the table. They don't have to worry about um not being loyal, infidelity. Take that off the table. Take the trauma off the table. Take certain stuff off the table because you walking around with it. You're putting it on the table. What can you take off that's going to make this relationship work? But are you even willing to? It's the question. Do you even care? Do you even care to? It's the question. People, going back to the dating apps, like, and people just feeling like they should be chased on the dating app. I remember like a year ago, it was a girl. They called her Cigar Bay. Some of y'all might know what I'm talking about. She came to the date because she was having great conversations with a guy that she met, and she paid attention to the fact that he liked cigars. So she went and got a cigar from her father and wrapped it as a gift to give to him on their first date. And she got blasted for it. Yo, women just slandered her for it. Say she was doing too much. Say you shouldn't be doing that. You the prize. You doing that. It's like she did something that was nice because she was paying attention to who she was talking to and got slandered for it. All because of this perception that you shouldn't pursue someone else. And I'm like, where did this perception come from? Who told you? Well, I know who told you. I know who told you. But why they told you, I have no idea. I'm trying to figure that out. When I figure it out, I'm gonna let y'all know. But who told you that you shouldn't pursue anybody? That you should just sit back and be chased? Who told you that you shouldn't show interest? That the other person has to show all the interest and do all the work while you just sit back and do the bare minimum of whatever it is that you want to do? While you sit back and choose and pick and choose what you want to do. That goes back to that selfishness, that inconsideration. But that's the dating scene. That's the dating scene we in. The rule of thumb in dating is date who is selfless and date someone who wants to be with you. I'm gonna talk to the men on that one. It's more so towards the men. Because women get plenty of guys that want to be with them. They just got their pick of the litter. But this is more so towards the men. Choose who choose you. Stop chasing women who giving you the bare minimum of their time and effort. And interest. Be with somebody who is really putting in the effort to want to be with you. That's where you reciprocate it. That's where you reciprocate the energy. That's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Maybe literally. But let's get into something else, man. I want to talk about excuses, man. Let's talk about excuses for a second. Because me personally, I'm tired of hearing people make excuses in 2023. Now, what type of excuses? This is what I'm talking about. People are in 2023 making 2020 excuses. They're still using 2020 excuses. It's like, bro, it's been 3 years. Figure it out. Ma'am, figure it out. I don't want to hear nothing about, back in 2020, everybody got affected. Everybody was affected. There's a lot of people dying. There's a lot of people who have health issues. A lot of people who had financial issues. There's a lot going on in 2020. A lot. And it affected so many people. And there were so many explanations that were, given for not being able to work, not being able to do the things that you normally would do. Responsibilities, providing a lot of things. And I'm saying that to say, like, it doesn't mean that it's still not going on today. My thing is this. It happened in 2020. You had time to recover. And let's be honest, it made you lazy. It made you lazy. Not working, not doing what you usually would do, not putting in that energy, that effort that you usually did, not having to, made you lazy. A lot of people coming out of the pandemic lazy. You don't want to work no more. You don't want to do anything no more. You don't want to handle responsibilities no more. You don't want to pay for the stuff you used to pay. You don't have the drive. No, you don't have nothing. And you're using 2020 as an excuse. And we're 3 years into the new decade of the 20s. The 2020s. I don't want to hear about mental health and about just certain stuff that we were saying in 2020 that was very legit. But I think now a lot of people just use it because it's an excuse. And people are no longer falling for the bullshit. People are calling bullshit now. Yo, you don't want to get up and go to work no more. So you come to work late every day. You come to work, or leave or whatever, right? And you keep saying excuses like, oh, my such and such, I don't feel good, and my this and I got stuff going on. Everybody got stuff going on. Figure it out. Figure it out. Deal with it. Welcome to this next stage of adulthood where we have to readjust and keep moving. This is society. I can't even say adulthood. Welcome to this new stage of society where you have to adjust and keep moving. Figure it out. I'm tired of hearing people talk about what they were doing in 2020 in 2023. This ain't gonna sound good. Hey, my such and such doesn't feel good. Okay. It's life. Figure it out. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's life. We can't keep sobbing in what we've been going through for 3 years. It's over. It's over now. Get back to it. You're lazy. Get back to it. Nobody told you that. I'm telling you that. Do it sound harsh? Probably. But it's the truth. Get back to it. You're lazy. I don't want to hear nothing about what your family got going on, what you got going on, and what it doesn't matter. It don't matter. Just get back to it. Humbly. I speak respectfully. Trust me. I speak respectfully. But when they come around with those excuses,
Bye, Felicia.
bye. Bye. I gotta say it again.
Bye, Felicia.
Say it again. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm done hearing it. It's exhausting. You don't have mental health issues. You're lazy. You had 3 years to get to a therapist. You haven't been to one session. Talking about mental health. I need a mental health break. No, you just lazy. But on a less serious note, let's move on. I have a question. I want y'all to hold that though. I want y'all to hold that. But I have a question. On a lighter note. Yo, what's up with all this LeBron hate, man? Why people hating on LeBron like this? What's going on, man? Tell me. Tell me what's going on. Somebody. Because the man did what, like, it was monumental. Like, he did something that was monumental. And I've always felt like people hated greatness. Always felt like that. If someone's on top, people gonna hate them. But you know, I don't understand the LeBron hate. Stop bringing up Jordan. I don't want to hear nothing about Jordan. I love Jordan. I don't want to hear about Jordan. LeBron's doing something right now. Jordan retired. I don't care about Jordan. I don't care what he did. I don't even care where he at. As soon as you talk about LeBron, you gotta bring Jordan up. I don't want to hear nothing about Jordan. Oh, Jordan the GOAT. That's subjective. I don't care. LeBron is number 1 in scoring and number 4 in assists. That means he scored the most points while giving the ball up the most. You know what Jordan is at in assists? 50. He didn't pass the ball. And he's still not even top 5 in scoring. LeBron played longer. He played a longer career. So what? He played twice as long, but he gave up the ball twice as much. Imagine how many scores he would have had if he actually kept the ball. He would have been hit that mark years ago if he would have actually kept the ball. That's not a stat that I hear people talk about when it comes to LeBron. He's number 1 in scoring and number 4 in assists. Nobody who is top 10 or 15 in assists is even in the scoring column. Maybe Magic Johnson might be in there. That's it. Magic Johnson is not even top 10 in scoring. I don't even know where Magic Johnson is in scoring. But I just know that people who have high assists don't score. So lay off LeBron, man. Leave LeBron alone. Not too much on LeBron. He's the GOAT. And the reason why I say that is because as the years go on, and as these older analysts start to fade out, and these younger analysts start to come up, the narrative is going to start changing. When Stephen A. Smith is too old to talk, he's going to have to watch TV with a young Stephen A. Smith saying that LeBron is a GOAT. And he's just going to have to eat that. They did it to Kareem and Wilt when they said Jordan was the GOAT. All the players and people from Kareem and Wilt's era still call them the GOATs. The younger people call Jordan the GOAT. Change the narrative. They're going to do the same thing with LeBron. In about 20 years, in about 10 years, everybody's going to be saying LeBron the GOAT. And ain't nothing nobody can do about it. So you might as well just go on and get it out of the way. Jordan can't come back and add to no stats. He's done. LeBron's still going. And to be honest, if it wasn't for Steph Curry, LeBron probably would have been unstoppable. Steph Curry came in and added the element of the 3-point shot and implemented that element to a 100th degree. It changed the entire gameplay of the NBA. Changed everything. If people weren't shooting threes no more, like they were before, Steph, LeBron would have dominated even more. Because won't nobody gonna stop him in the paint or in the 2-point field. It wasn't until everybody started shooting that people actually started scoring. It's not like James Harden or Kevin Durant or Westbrook or none of them was going to outshoot LeBron in a 2-point field goal percentage. So they better be glad that Steph Curry came in and started implementing the 3-point shot, because that's when people actually started getting points. But lay off LeBron, man. Y'all can say I'm probably completely wrong in what I'm saying. I don't care. I said what I said. And I said it how I said it. And it's going how it's going. So you're going to get it how you get it. I remember Cash Money. You get it how you live. People sleeping on Cash Money too, though. People sleeping on. We're going to have a conversation about that some other time. Cash Money changed a lot. But that's all I got, man. That's all I have. But y'all tune in. I thank y'all for tuning in this time. But y'all continue to tune in. We're going to talk about a lot on this podcast, man. I have a lot to say. Like I said, I watch a lot of YouTube, man. And it's so many perspectives that I don't hear, because people just regurgitate what they hear a lot of times. But on this channel, man, we gonna talk. We gonna talk that talk. But until next time, man, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Peace out.